Okay, so now with this calculation, that is a frequency ratio, we have got two values of the static deflection. One is the delta 1, which is a 2.66 millimeter, and delta 2 is 1.4 millimeter. Okay, so each static deflection, that means each one spring. Okay, so this is one spring and this is the another spring. So we have to choose which spring we should connect as an isolator so that we will have 85% of isolation. Okay, we have to choose only one spring out of these two. So for that, we have to again get back to the equation of transmissibility. So I will write here delta 1, which is equal to 2.66 millimeter, and the delta 2 value, so this is 1.4 millimeter. So for the isolation of this radio, from this engine, we are using only one spring. Okay, so same spring, it will operate at 1600 and it will operate at 2200 rpm. Okay, even if the same spring operate between these two range, between this range, okay, it should give 85% of isolation at least. So we have to check for individual spring whether it will provide the isolation, that is 85%. So refer the equation of transmissibility. So this is 1 upon r square minus 1. Okay, so in this equation, this is 1 upon r square, means this is a omega square upon omega n square minus 1. Okay, so first check for delta 1. So for the delta 1, you have to put omega n as a square root j upon delta 1. So this is 1 upon, this is omega, and this is 9.81 upon delta 1, that is a 2.66 10 to the power minus 3 meter, bracket square minus 1. Okay, now here omega, we have to vary this omega from 1600 to 2200, and we have to check whether the transmissibility value, it is at least 85% or greater than 85%. Okay, then we can say we can select this spring delta 1. So first put the value of omega as a 1600. So 1 upon omega value. So for 1600, omega is 166, 167.55, and this is 9.81 upon 2.66 10 to the power minus 3, bracket square minus 1. Okay, and calculate the value of transmissibility. So here you will get the value as 0.15. Okay, and second, just change the value of omega to omega 2. So take 2200 in the same equation. So this is 1 upon 230.38 upon the square root 9.81 2.66 10 to the power minus 3 bracket square minus 1. And again check the transmissibility. So for this value, that is a higher operating speed, the transmissibility, it becomes 0.07. Okay. So as 0.07 is the transmissibility, so in the percentage, it is a 7%, and this 15%. So when 15% is the transmissibility, what is isolation? Isolation is equal to 85%. So it satisfies the given condition, at least 85% isolation, and at higher speed. So this isolation, it is at lower speed. At the higher speed, what is isolation? 7% is the transmissibility. So 100 minus 7, so it is a 93% of isolation. So this spring, it is giving improved result for the isolation at the higher speed. Okay. So isolation, it becomes 93%, and at least required value is 85%. So we can use this spring that is having the static deflection of 2.66. No need to check the second spring. Okay. So we can select this spring that is having the static deflection of 2.66 millimeter. Okay. So in the problem, it is not asked to find out the stiffness. Okay. So just select the static deflection as delta 1. So this problem is a bit conceptual. So your final answer here is the static deflection required for isolator is 2.66 to have 85% of isolation at both operating speed, that is 1600 RPM and 2200 RPM. Okay, so refer the next problem. A machine of 1000 kg is acted upon by the external force 3000 Newton at speed 1800 RPM. To reduce the effect of vibration, isolators having the static deflection of 2 mm under the machine weight and the damping factor of 0.2 is used. Determine the amplitude of the machine vibration. Second, the force transmitted to the foundation, phase lag, and phase lag between the transmitted force and the excitation force. Okay. So this is the schematic diagram. So this is one machine having the mass 1000 kg, is acted upon by the force of 3000. So there is external force of 3000 Newton, and it is operating at the speed 1800 RPM. So from this we can find out its omega. So 2 pi n by 60. So omega here is 188.49 rad per second. So this is the external frequency. Okay. And this is the force magnitude or the force amplitude. Now to reduce the effect of vibration, isolators are used. So this is the isolator, spring and damper, and this is the foundation. Okay. So this is K, this is C. So for this isolator, the static deflection is 2 mm under the machine weight. Okay. So this static deflection we will represent as delta. So static deflection of spring of that isolator This is a delta, and it is 2 mm. Okay. So what is the use of this static deflection? From the static deflection, we can find out the K value. Okay. So we know that the weight of the machine, that is the mg, this is equal to K delta. Okay. So from this, we can find out the K value. This is equal to mg upon delta. So m is 1000 kg. This is the mass into 9.81 upon delta. This is a 2 mm, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Okay. So what is significance of this delta? That means if you take the machine and if you mount that machine on this spring and damper, then there is a static deflection. That means initially this spring, it will undergo the permanent deformation. Okay. So whenever you just place the machine on this spring, so it will undergo the permanent deformation. Okay. So this permanent deformation, this is called as a delta. And this delta, it is due to the machine weight. Okay. So here formula is mg is balanced by the spring force, that is a K delta. So we can calculate the K value. So K value here is 4.9 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter. So we have got the spring stiffness. Then next, zeta is given. This is equal to 0.2. Okay. Now question is, find the amplitude of the machine vibration. So we can use the equation for a simple force vibration, because for the simple force vibration, the external force value will be directly given and its frequency is given. Okay. So for the simple force vibration, so equation is for the amplitude A upon, this is a magnification factor equation, f0 upon k is equal to 1 upon the square root 1 minus r square 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay. So here f0, this value is nothing but 3000 Newton. This is the force magnitude or the external force. K value is known, which is a 4.9 10 to the power 6. R value is the frequency ratio. So it is omega upon omega n. Okay. So we have to calculate the omega n value. So omega n, this value is nothing but square root k upon m, or you can use square root g upon delta. You can use any one equation. So for this equation, put this value, or for this equation, g by delta, just put this value. Okay, you will get the same answer. So I will write directly the answer omega n. So this is 70.03 rad per second. Okay. Now omega value is 188.49. So this is 188.49 upon 70.03. So you will get the R value as a 2.69. Okay. Zeta is given, which is a 0.2. So put this value in this equation. So A upon, I will write the F0 value, which is a 3000, and K value, F0 upon K, so this is 4.9 10 to the power 6. This is equal to 1 upon the square root 1 minus 2.69 square bracket square plus 2 into zeta, which is a 0.2, and 2.69 bracket square. Okay. So whenever you write this equation, do not forget to square this term. Okay. So in the bracket, we have this square, that is r square, and again complete bracket square. Okay. So most of the students commit this mistake. They just write 1 minus 2.69 and just take this complete bracket square. So we'll get the wrong answer. So now capital A is equal to, so this is 9.67 10 to the power minus 5 meter. Okay. Or if you rearrange this term, so this is point, adjust the two decimal places, 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Okay. So this is equal to 0.0967 millimeter. So this is the amplitude of the machine. Now next is we have to find out the force transmitted. So this is answer for your first question. The second question is regarding the transmissibility. So we have to find out force transmitted to the foundation. So this is the FTR value. So for that, we have to use the transmissibility equation for the force. So we will write FTR upon F0. This is equal to the square root 1 plus 2 zeta R square and the square root 1 minus R square bracket square plus 2 zeta R bracket square. So we have to remember all these equations for simple force vibration, rotating unbalance, then motion transmissibility, force transmissibility, and the vibrometer and accelerometer. Okay. So in all these equations, this denominator is same. So this equation, it remains same. Only the numerator will change. Okay. So here we have to find out the FTR value. F0 is given, zeta is given, and R is given. Okay. So put the value and calculate the FTR value. So this FTR value is 692.1 Newton. Just you put all these values and check this answer whether it is correct. Okay, so this is about the force transmissibility. So this is second part. Third is we have to find out the phase lag. So phase lag, it is between the exciting force and the amplitude or the displacement. Okay. So this phase lag, it has an equation phi is equal to tan inverse. This is 2 zeta R 1 minus R square. So this is tan inverse. This is 2. The zeta value is 0.2. R is 2.69. 1 minus 2.69 square. Okay. So calculate this value. So the answer is minus 10.87 degree. Okay. So the negative answer is nothing but actual phase lag is 180 minus this 10.87. Okay. Because the maximum angle possible is 180 phase lag. So this is 169.12 degree. So this is the phase lag between the displacement and the exciting force. And the fourth question is we have to find out the phase lag between force transmitted and the excitation force F0. Okay. So for this, you should refer the equation of motion transmissibility. In that equation, yesterday I have given the complete phase lag. Okay, so that phase lag so if you refer the derivation, okay, so here you can see the complete phase lag for the transmissibility. This is the total phase lag. Okay, total angle omega t plus alpha minus phi. Okay, and this is nothing but the phase lag, alpha minus phi or phi minus alpha. So if you take the negative sign from this equation, so it will become sine omega t minus in bracket phi minus alpha. Okay, so we have to find out this total angle. So this is between the amount of force transmitted and the exciting force. So this phase lag is nothing but the phi minus alpha. So we have to find out the alpha value. Okay. So alpha, this has equation. So alpha is present only in the transmissibility equation, whether it is a motion transmissibility, that is a x upon y, or it is a force transmissibility, that is a ftr upon f0. Okay. Only in this derivation, we have the alpha value. So this alpha is equal to, so you have to remember this equation, just note down this, tan inverse 2 zeta into r. Okay. So this is equal to tan inverse. This is 2 into 0.2 into r is 2.69. Okay. So this value is 47. Sorry, this is 52.32. Okay. So total phase lag is phi minus alpha. Phase lag between FTR and F0. This is a phi minus alpha. So this is equal to phi is 169.12 minus 52.32. So this is 116.67. Okay. So this is your final answer. So the problem that we have solved in this lecture, they are based on the machine's vibration. Okay, and the isolators used to minimize the force transmitted to the foundation. Okay. So now we will solve some problem on the automobile suspension system. Okay, so in this problem, what is given? The suspension system of the vehicle has a spring constant of 500 kilonewton per meter and the damping ratio is 0.5. The vehicle speed 80 km per hour. The road surface varies sinusoidally with the amplitude of 10 centimeter. That means the road profile is a sine wave, like a sine wave, okay, having the amplitude is 10 centimeter. and the wavelength is 5 meter. If the mass of the vehicle is the 1000 kg, determine its amplitude. Okay, so this is depending on the equation of motion transmissibility. Okay, so I will draw this schematic diagram. So this is the vehicle mass, and this is the suspension system of that vehicle. And this is the wheel. Okay, so vehicle is moving with the speed which is 80 km/h. So multiply this 80 by 5 by 18, so that will be in meter per second. So this is 22.22 meter per second. This is the speed of the vehicle. Now this vehicle, it is moving on the road surface, which is a sine wave. So this is just an speed breaker. Okay. So this speed breaker, if you draw the mean line, so you can get the amplitude. So this is the amplitude of that speed breaker. So this amplitude is given as a 10 centimeter. So as this field is directly in contact with this speed breaker, okay, or this profile, so the amplitude of the speed breaker is directly transmitted to the field. Okay, so this field, it will receive the same value of displacement, and this is represented as a capital Y, that is equal to 10 centimeter. So this is equal to 0.1 meter. Okay, out of this Y value, how much value is transmitted to the mass or to the vehicle chassis, that we have to find out. So this amplitude is nothing but the capital X value. Okay, what else is given? The wavelength of the road profile is given, that is a 5 meter. So what is the wavelength? So this is the waveform. Then this peak to peak distance, this is called as a wavelength. So it is represented as a lambda. So for this profile, this lambda, this is equal to 5 meter. Okay, so lambda is given 5 meter. Then capital Y value, this is a 0.1 meter. X value, it is unknown. Then vehicle speed V is given, which is 22.22 meter per second. Then K value is given, that is the stiffness. This is 500 kilonewton per meter. So that is equal to 500 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per meter. Okay. But if you observe this equation, so we should refer the equation of motion transmissibility. So I will write that equation, motion transmissibility. So motion transmissibility is nothing but ratio x upon y. So this is equal to the square root 1 plus 2 zeta r square upon the square root 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay. So we have to find out the x value. Y is given, zeta is given. So zeta is 0.5 damping ratio. So it is given here. But R value is not given. Okay. So what is R value? It is a frequency ratio, omega upon omega n. So omega n value, it is nothing but square root k upon m. Okay. So omega n, this is nothing but the square root k upon m. where m is the mass of the automobile, that is the mass of the chassis including the rider. So this is equal to, so this mass is given 1000. So k is given 510 raised to 3 upon 1000. Okay, so omega n value, so it is 22.36 radian per second. So this is the natural frequency of this automobile include suspension system. Now we have to find out what is the external frequency. So external frequency means what? Whenever this automobile is passing over this speed breaker, this mass will continuously oscillate. Okay. So for the mass oscillation, we have to find out the frequency. So that frequency, it depends on this vehicle speed and this wavelength. Okay. And therefore this wavelength is given in order to find out the omega value. So there is one relation between the wavelength and the frequency. So this is the lambda. So this is the speed of the automobile. Okay. So whenever the automobile is moving with this speed, it will receive the vibration because of this wavelength. Okay. So that relation is V is equal to n lambda, where frequency it is in hertz, lambda is meter, and V is in meter per second. So we will find out the n value. N is equal to V upon lambda. So V, it is 22.22. And lambda value, this is 5 meter. So we will get the answer for n in terms of hertz. So this is 4.44 hertz. Okay. So now to find out the R value, we have the equation omega upon omega n. So we will need frequency in terms of hertz. So convert this omega, this is equal to 2 pi into n. Just multiply hertz by 2 pi. So this is 2 pi into 4.44. So this is 27.89 radian per second. Okay. So this frequency will be 27.89 and the natural frequency omega n 22.36. So the frequency ratio is, it is 1